Hey, so you're in your first year of retirement, or you are about to be, and you have probably heard the question or even asked the question to yourself, what is it that I'm going to do now that I'm retired? How am I going to spend my time? And what I wanted to do is give you 7 realistic goals that you can start working on and doing right now so that you won't fall into that trap of doing nothing, what so many people who are in their retirement years do. They just become sitters and phone scrollers and just sit and watch television and just basically fall into the trap of nothingness and do nothingness. Here are 7 realistic things that you can do that I have done or that I'm in the process of doing that will make retirement interesting and far more enjoyable. So let's take a look at what these are. I've got some listed here. So if you see me looking above my phone, then that's because I need the notes. But a little bit about me. My name is Tony. I'm 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 put together this YouTube channel called Actively Golden. And when I retired, or I'm really sort of in semi-retirement, I'm retired, but I still have my business that I run. It just kind of keeps me semi-retired. It gives me something to do every so often if I want to go out and do a job or two. But basically, you can say that I'm more retired than not. And I started asking all of those questions, now that I have all this time on my hands, what is it that I am going to do? So one of the first things that you want to do, and for me, one of the first goals was to start this YouTube channel. And you might want to do something like that. But some of the more practical things that I want to share with you very quickly is make sure, number one, should be the first goal. The first goal should be that you move your body every day, that you do something to get some type of exercise. Listen, I know you knew I was going to say that. You knew that I was going to say don't become, I've already referenced it. Don't become a sitter. Don't sit still. You've got to move your body. You've got to stay active. You're probably coming off of a career where you've been doing stuff, where you've gotten up in the morning, gotten dressed, gotten out in the field, out in the workplace, and you've been active. But now that you're retiring, putting your feet up, sitting back, scrolling your phone is really not the best idea. That's when sickness starts coming in. The body is designed to move. It is not designed to sit still. You don't want your muscles to get tight and sore and start that atrophy. You want to stay active. You want to do something to move every day, even if it's something as simple as taking a daily walk or doing something that gets your heart rate up, like just jumping jacks or chair yoga or swimming or dancing in the kitchen when no one is looking. I know some folks in their 80s that are daily swimmers. They're a part of a daily swimming club, and every day they go somewhere and they're there from 10 o'clock until noon and they swim. It's not every day, but it's like 3 or 4 days a week. They swim, and then about noon, when they're done at noon, they go to lunch together and they have a lot of fun together. This is the way that they keep their body moving, and they enjoy good health even in their 80s because they move. So make sure that you make it a goal that you exercise fairly regularly. You do something to get your body moving. A second goal that you should do is to go after a hobby. Come up with a new hobby. Again, for me, my hobby is 2 things. One is this YouTube channel. I'm just kind of working on it, learning it, and I'm enjoying it. But one of the things that has become a very fun and enjoyable hobby for me is woodworking. When my dad died about 5 or 6 years ago, I inherited a lot of his tools. And he wasn't really a woodworker. He was a construction man, but he had tons of tools in his shop and in his shed. And I inherited all of that. And I started just looking at it and said, what am I going to do with all this? And I started watching some YouTube videos on woodworking. And I said, man, I want to try some of those things. And I got really in to the point to where I really enjoyed it a great deal. And it's now a hobby. I've built a lot of the furniture that's in our house, and I just stay active doing stuff like that. It keeps my mind creative. It keeps me doing something. What is something that you would like to do as far as a hobby? Learn a language, start a YouTube channel, paint more, write a book, start a blog, something. Do something to demonstrate that you've still got something within you that you want to accomplish that you can do by hobbies or just something that you might enjoy. A third goal would be reconnecting with some old friends. We get busy in life. We've made a lot of friends over the years, and we get busy in life. We would just kind of go our separate ways. I was telling my son, who's 25, the other day, that he is now in his own apartment by himself. And but prior to that, he was living with three other of his friends. And he had told me at one point, he said, "Dad, we're going to be together forever." And I said, "No, son, it won't be long till you'll be looking around an empty apartment. Those guys are going to get jobs, they're going to get relationships, they're just going to go where they're going to go, and you're going to find yourself alone." I said, "That's the way life is. Friends come and friends go, but that doesn't mean that we have to lose connection with them, even though we tend to do that because life is busy." So what you might want to do is get a list, a legal pad, make a list of about 10, 12 people that you've lost connection with that used to be a part of your life, and reconnect with them. On social media, they're easy to find. You might already know how to get in touch with them, but just send them a note saying, "Hey, I was thinking about you. How's it going?" Maybe you could do something with them, like get together locally and have a cup of coffee and just laugh over old times or whatever. But reconnecting with old friends and making it a hobby or a practice to talk with two or three of them every week and just stay in tune with those folks. Another goal, number 4, would be to create a simple routine, daily and weekly routine. And the reason I say this one is because what happens to us is when we retire, we look around and say, "I don't really have to do anything." I got all this time on my hand. I can do what I want to. But that's really kind of a formula for disaster, because you can get lazy and lethargic that way. But if you already know in advance what you're going to do each day, it makes the days easier. It makes the days more interesting. For example, you might say Monday is the day that I'm going to run errands, go to the grocery store, whatever, go do some shopping. Tuesday is going to be my hobby time, where I'm really going to focus on learning to play that guitar or playing the piano or doing those art projects, going to the swimming class, whatever it may be. Wednesday could be an exercise thing, your exercise day, where you are determined every single Wednesday you're going to really get that exercise in. You're going to go to the gym or whatever it may be. Thursday could be the time where you say, "This is the day I'm going to learn something." Maybe there's a class that you take, or maybe it's a day that you could set aside for volunteering, doing community service, something like that. Friday could be the day that you say, "This is just my fun day. This is fun for myself or fun with friends, whatever it may be." And the weekend, yeah, just wing the weekends. But the idea is to have routines rather than fall in that rut of just never really knowing what to do. Again, I keep stressing this part of not being a sitter, not just sitting around watching the world go by. It's extremely important that we stay engaged in life, because you and I both know time flies by. I look at myself in the mirror every so often, and I look at myself and I say, "Who is that guy looking back at me?" 30 years ago seemed like 5 years ago. You know how fast time seems to go by. So we want to make sure that we use the time that we have to our advantage. We want to be doing things. We want to be growing, learning, developing, sharing, building, creating, reading, studying, whatever. Just stay doing stuff. That's the whole idea. Another goal would be to plan a wow experience. This is number 5. Plan something that you want to do in the next 12 months, a major bucket list item. Say, for example, I'm going to go skydiving. Now, I would never do that in 100 zillion years, but some people enjoy that. I'm horrified of heights. But what is one thing that you would like to do that you can start planning now, a wow experience just for you? And it doesn't need to be something you do by yourself, but it may be. I'm going to take a 7-day trip to the Caribbean. I'm going to take a 7-day cruise just by myself, or I'm going to go to Italy for 4 days or whatever. But start planning it. Don't hope to do it. Start planning it. Make it a goal that you're actually going to do something on your bucket list in the next 12 months. That'll give you something to look forward to. Goal number 6 is a lot more boring, but also a lot more satisfying, or at least very satisfying, and that is to start decluttering some stuff. One thing about us, most of us, is that over the years we collect a lot of stuff. I was in my shop just a couple of days ago looking around saying, "Man, where did I get all this stuff?" And decluttering and minimizing, becoming more of a minimalist, getting rid of a bunch of stuff, giving it away, selling it on eBay, donating it, whatever it might do. Just take a day or two a month and just start decluttering, just getting rid of stuff that you don't need anymore. Again, that'll keep you busy. It'll keep your mind active. You'll find a bunch of stuff that'll bring back some real memories to you, some sensitivity stuff, some stuff that you have an emotional attachment to, and so you'll want to hold those things, and it'll give you some beautiful memories. Then you'll look at some stuff, and you're like, "What is this? Why am I keeping this?" But so do some decluttering. It'll be very beneficial to you and satisfying because you're getting rid of junk you no longer need. And then the seventh goal, is to start a retirement wins a journal. In other words, write down in a journal something that you accomplished, once or twice a week. Just pull your journal out and say, man, I did this week. I took my first step in my piano class, or I took my first class in learning to paint, or I enrolled in the swimming class, or whatever it may be. But have a wins journal where you write down things that you have decided to do and that you've started doing, and then you can come back to the journal later and update each one of those things. I started learning piano, and now I'm in month 3 of it. I can actually play this song, or whatever it may be. But the idea is to have a journal that you can look at and say, wow, I'm doing stuff. The purpose of the journal is for you to write it down, and then for you to look at it and say, wow, I'm actually doing stuff. I'm not one of those people that just sits on the porch, sips iced tea, watches television program, or scroll my phone. I'm somebody that's doing something, and I'm making a difference not only for myself, but for the people around me, because stuff that I do makes me feel good about myself. And when I feel good about myself, I feel good about others, and I help them. So those are 7 things that you can do to make retirement more enjoyable and more encouraging, more pleasing, more satisfying, and so forth. So here's my question for you. Which one of these is most interesting to you? Which one are you going to start right away? Put in the comments below what you liked about this video, what you're going to do. Uh, what you're not going to do. You say, Tony, that's silly. I'm not doing that. But whatever, just comment below. And please, by all means, subscribe. I'm going to try to take this YouTube as my hobby. I'm going to try to take it to the highest level that I can. I'm just enjoying it. I enjoy sharing. I enjoy learning. So subscribe to help me out. Hit the like button. And again, make a comment, and I'll respond to you as quickly as I can. Thank you for watching. Have a great and wonderful day. All the best.